Philip is here, and he's going to be doing some songs. 10 years. How long have you been making music?
Oh, my whole life. We're going to get into that.
We're going to get into it. We're going to get deep. So I hope everyone's got a babysitter. I imagine this is probably going to go till a little, not too long after 1 o'clock, but probably close to it. Mm-hmm. And, if anyone has any questions that they want to ask Philip, please, I encourage you to participate. StageCraft is a lot of fun when we all participate. And really, Don, if you could, and Don Zantara, the legendary Don Zantara.
Hi.
This was his brainchild. He wanted to put together a seminar to help artists get their art in front of more people. Would you say that was kind of...
I would say that's it. That's it, and how to connect with the people, how to connect with the audience.
And I said, instead of doing one seminar one time, let's do a weekly show for nearly 10 years.
Whoa! Holy cow.
And I did the math. I've been telling people it's nearly 10 years. We're actually coming up on 8. We're coming up on 8 years of StageCraft. So if you are curious about the show, mixcloud.com/StageCraft, or if you just put StageCraft, Don, and Alex into your search bar of choice, we will come up, because that's just how it is.
What else lasts 8 years? What else lasts 8 years? That's a long time.
A shitty presidency.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not trying to get...
Prison sentence?
I don't ever want to think about a prison sentence that lasts for 8 years. That's harrowing. Harrowing. Take us away from this conversation, Philip.
Hey, speaking of harrowing, my name's Philip Basnight. I'm very happy to be here. When Don and Alex asked me if I wanted to do this, they said, does Broke Royals want to perform? And I said, no, I'll do you one better. What if I do a musical one-man show? And they said, what's that? And I said, exactly. And so I've been in this band, Broke Royals, for 10 years. Has anybody seen Broke Royals? Make some noise. Oh, nice. Okay, great. Well, I bring it up only because, not a prerequisite, but I do bring it up because Broke Royals is sort of founded on pomp and circumstance. It's all about going over the top. We got a big light show, got the fog machine, all that kind of stuff. But to reflect, I wanted to kind of do the opposite. Actually, in fact, quite literally do the opposite and strip it down to just me on the guitar. As I was working through this, thinking about the last 10 years, I was like, oh, I could add a drum machine here, or I could add a loop pedal here. And I was like, no, I need to just stick to what this was originally in my head. And so that's how we ended up here. And I've been thinking a lot about how I got to 10 years with this band, but why I have this, some might say, compulsive desire to be in a rock and roll band. And one memory that really sticks out to me that I've been sort of thinking about a lot, on a family reunion when I was about 8 or 9, my cousin and I were in the car, and he played me a compilation of German electronic music from the 90s. And he said, let me know which tracks you like. And I said, 3, 4, 7, something like that. He was like, all right, man, you got good taste. And he was about 10 years older than me, so that really meant a lot. And I've thought about, like, is that an important memory to me because I did end up pursuing music? Or is that one of those moments that really pushed me down the road? What was the chicken or the egg in that situation? Like, if I'd been told at that age, you're an amazing soccer player, might things have gone differently for me? And, like, I was playing soccer, but I was not receiving that feedback. So it stands to reason that maybe, like, there really was something there, and that's kind of...
I thought that was your opportunity to, like, humble brag about it, because I was a good soccer player.
I was not a good soccer player, but I was present on the team. I'm scared if I stop singing, my wife won't know my name. I'm scared if I stop singing, they'll pull me from the game. 'Cause I've been doing this for so long. What else do I have without my songs? I'm scared if I stop singing, I have nothing left to say. I'm scared if I stop singing, that they'll ship me away. 'Cause I've been doing this for so long. What else could I be without these songs? I'm scared if I stop singing, they ship me off to Mars. I'm scared if I stop singing, they'll take away my car. 'Cause why else would I need to drive around? What else could I be without these sounds? Thanks, y'all. I think my inner monologue is taking a rest.
Now, you mentioned, being a child and getting that German. What was the name of the German band, if you don't mind? Do you remember?
Oh, it was Trance World All Stars Part 2.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I think, obviously, formative years are super important to most of us. What were you like as a kid? Like, do you remember? Do you have any memories? Were you exactly like now, only just much smaller?
Yeah, no, I was like this, but smaller is a good description. And I do have one early music memory. I really loved music, and I loved learning everything I could about it. But it was clear pretty early that I wasn't the most gifted natural musician right out the gate. My piano teacher, who also happened to be my dad, was the piano teacher for all the neighborhood kids. So we had the recital at my house, all the recitals, but the first one is particularly memorable. I remember some of the kids were playing more complicated stuff for Elise, Hit the Road Jack. They were playing moving and grooving tunes, and my dad said, "I think you would really succeed if you played Danny Boy," and sang along with the song. And so I get up there, start playing, stop, immediately tears, right on the ivories, can't help myself. And he goes, "Hold on, let him finish." So I restart, and it's like, "Oh, Danny Boy." But I did make it through the song, and to his credit, my reaction was not, "I never want to play music again." It was, "I never want to play music again alone." So I took the next natural step, and I learned the bass guitar, so that there would always be a place for me on stage with other people. And I did not learn the lesson that I needed to practice more. That was not my takeaway. It was that I needed to be more helpful and more undercover. And that kind of extended to a lot of things. It took me a long time to say, "Hey, I'm not ready for this, for this performance," or even in life just to say, like, I don't know, I can't answer that question, or I can't speak to that. You called it beauty, but I tossed it away. It was such a high price, but I knew you'd pay. That life you were promised, I can't speak to that. I know you're unsatisfied, but you won't get your money back. I'm not sure someone will take care of that. I'm not coming for your God-given rights, but they're written on a candlelight. Those things you were promised, I can't speak to that. You go chasing happiness, I'll stay right here learning to relax. I'm sure someone will take care of that. I wrote these lyrics. Swear I don't mean to cause a fuss. I just don't think I have enough understanding. I can't speak to that. I know you're unsatisfied, but you won't get your money back. It's alright if you're unsure, someone will take care of that.
Now, you talked about what you were like as a child, Danny Boy, notwithstanding. That sounds harrowing. Is that a fairly traumatic memory?
Well, I remember it.
Yeah. So, what did you have a backup plan if music wasn't going to work out for you? Did you have another strategy?
I'm gonna leapfrog backwards in your questions, and talk more about what I was like as a child. I think that would continue to resonate. I was a big daydreamer as a kid, and I would have such intense daydreams that when I would come back to the real world, it would be painful, and there would be such a gap between what I was living in my dreams and in these elaborate daydreams that I was having, and then the harsh reality of what I was kind of going through. And it was always music based. I mean, I would dream about all types of things, but for the most part, it was all just being on stage, playing rock and roll. As Giorgio Moroder said, the dream was so big. This dream is a pipe bomb that we tied our whole life on. We built it from scratch and then we lit the match. Took every coin from every jar that we could find and bought a car. Then we cut the brakes to raise the stakes. The only thing that gets us through. Some days it's me, some days it's you. Whoa, 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 what is ours to take? Believe me, they left us alone, they were on their phones. Whoa, 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 and nobody said it would come easy, but we're still here after all these years. We'd sit in the car and listen to Giorgio say the dream was so big. Then we'd close our eyes and we'd take a swing. And I'd look in the mirror and say, God, why'd you make us a rock and roll band? Cut the lights, we're here to fight. The only thing that gets us through. Some days it's us, some days it's you. Whoa, 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 what is ours to take? Believe me, they left us alone, they were on their phones. Whoa, 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 and nobody said it would come easy, but we're still here after all these years. And all those times we should have walked away, but it's not over. We're still broken, that's no joke. And all those times we should have walked away, but it's not over. We're still broken, that's no joke. The world is ours to take, believe me. And they left us alone, they were on their phones. and nobody said it would come easy. But we're still here after all these years. Thank you very much. Now, Alex, I love that question you just asked me. I've had some time to think about it. Why don't you ask me again?
I was wondering if perhaps that you had an exit plan for what if rock and roll didn't work out, if you hadn't sold your soul to rock and roll.
It's a great question. I was a people pleaser as a kid, or maybe I was just lazy, and I went with what seemed like the most obvious answers. I grew up in a real religious household, and I would see the preacher up on stage, and I thought, I could do that. I think I could do that. I like to talk. I mean, in some ways, it's how we ended up here tonight. I did not pursue that path. And then in college, my dad was in the Army, so I thought, well, I'll join the Army. So I signed up for ROTC. Cut to a few months in, I think I made it to November. I was crying in the major's office for about the third time, and he said, "Son, just leave. You're not stuck here." And it was wise. And the only thing that was really tough, I mean, in both of these situations, I'd been quite vocal about my involvement with both of these groups. You know, in religion especially, when you walk away from religion, it's a little bit like waking up after a night of heavy drinking. You know, you're like, I think I was saying some things I didn't mean before. I may have borrowed some money, and then you have this tattoo you have to explain for the rest of your life. And so, yeah.
When did you start writing songs?
When did I start writing songs?
Yeah.
I wrote a song. I thought John Lennon, he's a good songwriter. I knew that. And I wish I knew the chords because I could sing it. It was The Mountain Man. The Mountain Man dreams, but hardly it seems, was the chorus. I don't know what that means, and I don't live in the mountains. So I don't know where that came from, but I was probably like 12 or 13.
Okay. High school years then.
Yeah, deeply in a band by high school, and we were writing songs together, and they were often about nautical adventures. I don't know why.
You were living at a seaport?
I was living at a seaport. The Great Fairfax Seaport. Yeah. Yeah, but this one's called Known to Say. I get off before the bridge, I take the local, but I know my neighbors cross the river gambling. It's getting vocal. Every night I hear him through the walls. He took a little savings and he lost it all. I've been known to say my luck would turn around, and I've been wrong. I've been known to say that no one could stay losing for this long. I was born to be a preacher, but I lost the conviction. I used to dream I'd be on stage in front of folks, reading benedictions. Now every time I try to hear the call, I close my hands and talk to God, and I feel nothing at all. I've been known to say my faith would still be strong, and I've been wrong. I've been known to say that this would get me through here for too long. I signed myself up for the army. I didn't last the year. The major told me, son, let's cut our losses and save you all the tears. And every time I try to heed the call, feels like I end up with nothing at all. I've been known to say my turn around, and I've been wrong. I've been known to say that no one could stay losing for this long. I've been known to say my luck would turn around, and I've been wrong. I've been known to say that no one could stay losing for this long. Thank you very much.
I do love the visual of the major, kind of reminding you that you didn't have to be there. You're like, you don't have to be here. Why are you crying?
Yeah.
Get out of here. Get out of here already. So I love Don's question about when you started songwriting, and I hate to pivot too much from the planned script, but can you just tell us a little bit about writing songs that are about bad things that happen to you? How does that feel? Do you ever feel weird revisiting those memories, or do you feel like it helps you get past them? Can you explain a little bit about?
Or is it an inspiration?
Yeah.
Or is it an inspiration? I feel like you're reading my mind. You really are the inner dialogue guy. I would say yes, but it's so fucking slow. Sorry, can I curse?
Yeah.
It's like, if you, on a lighter note, it's like if you were to get in a relationship, wouldn't you want to start writing love songs right away? It's like, I wish, but I guess I just process things really slowly. And to that end, my best friend died when I was 14. And there were a bunch of us that were really close. And we stayed close for a few years afterwards, though we went to some different high schools. And it's just the kind of thing you can't bring up at a party. You can't talk to you can't talk to just strangers about it. It's not very good happy hour conversation. So it was always really special. Those of us who were together, like, we really hung tight. And then over the years we started to drift away. And then by the end of high school, it was, pretty much over. But it took me 3 full albums to get to that in the band that I'd been in, Broke Royals. So I wish it came a little quicker. It definitely is a very healing and cathartic thing for me. But Father Time has other plans, and or the Muse, I suppose. So. Jesus Jane, I miss you. Can you believe it's been so long? Days like this, I could have used you around. I try to spare you all my issues, but they come out in my songs. Hear 'em as the air blows through me now. Could have told me things gonna be alright, but my friends all left and the money got tight. Just wanted to hear it said. You could have told me not to drink so much when I thought it might heal all my guts. Why don't we talk anymore? Why don't we talk anymore? 'Cause no one wants to hear about our dead friend. And if they say they do, changes came on. For the first time all summer, we forgot that Hank was gone. If only for a moment. I know you don't talk to your mom. If only for a moment. We turn the radio on. Thank you very much. I had designed a break here because the first 5 songs are about growing up, and the next 5 songs are about being in a band. And I want to let you all in the audience in on a little secret. We're gonna revisit all these themes. You know, we're gonna have a good time. But I think it'd be nice to just keep rolling, right?
Why not? Yeah,
another
keep
25
rolling.
minutes. Yeah, I think
we can all sort of move ahead timeline in our head.
Yeah, we can move ahead
Yes.
timeline in our head as if we had a nice break. If you have any questions now or any comments, that would be a welcome time.
Any questions from the audience?
Or I'll just launch into
Anyone
the
curious
thing.
about anything?
Yeah. Any cliffhangers? That
All
you
your
want?
songs have answered their questions
Oh,
about
thank
life.
You, Don. Thank you, Don. Wow, it's like I planned it that way.
I just wanted to take a moment to thank Lost Origins for hosting us.
Big time.
Don.
Absolutely.
For being
Lost
Don.
Origins, great.
Philip for being Philip. Thanks so much for everyone for being here. Thanks for coming out on a Wednesday night. I really, really appreciate it. And Philip, you know, the vulnerability that you're showing with this is just so appreciated. Thank you for being here with us.
No problem. It seems compulsive, but are you sure, please?
Please do.
So I just kind of walked in here on purpose, but it's not an accident that I'm here. But I noticed that I heard you reference that, you know, grew up in a very religious family.
Yeah.
And then through the last songs that you played, I've heard a lot of religious references in your lyrics, which makes me wonder, are you currently practicing religious person?
No. Okay, let me see if I can get this right. This is about as far as it goes for me. What was your name, sir?
I'm Chris.
Chris, nice to meet you. And we're going to revisit this. Great question, Chris. AC/DC's road manager said, God is the name of the blanket that we put over the thing to give it a shape. That's about... I'm bungled the quote a little bit, but...
I'm picturing like Charlie
over the
Brown
mystery,
in the sheet.
over
you
the
know?
mystery to give it a shape.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. That's about as far as I go, but no practice, no.
Is that that sounds like agnostic.
Shucks. You know, once you're in it so hard, and I'll talk about this a little bit more, I think I'm Christian. Because it's like, not because I'm like Jesus rah-rah, but it's like, it's kind of baked in at a certain point, you know? You go to enough church and you're like, it's cultural as much as it is. It's the belief as much as it is the practice. And I don't subscribe to the belief, and I'm not going to. But culturally, I feel that's like where I do feel like a resonance on the, Christian side.
Throw out one verse.
Sure.
I think it's Mark 9:30.
Great.
I believe. Help me with my disbelief.
There you go.
It's my mantra.
There you go.
I feel like we're in a religious ceremony right now.
Yeah, me too. This is nice.
P.S. We're all married now. Oh, Philip, please continue.
I will. Thank you. We're going to keep rolling along. We've just gone through 5 wonderful, exciting songs and stories. We're going to go through another 5 wonderful, exciting songs and stories. In college, went to William Mary, and I've been in many, many bands over the years, before college, in college, the Wingmen, the Custard Pie Appreciation Society, Custer's Pie, the Good Neighbors. I've, of course, performed as DJ Jesse Alba on many occasions, but none of them really stuck. And there's nothing worse than dragging someone to band practice, dragging someone into being in a band. That is not what the rock and roll good times experience is all about. So I had sort of just accepted that maybe it wasn't in the cards for me because I kept being in bands that were breaking up. But at William & Mary, I met this guy who seemed to have the same drive that I did. He too did not want to be alone on stage. He was a drummer, so I shifted from bass to rhythm guitar and vocals so that we could actually have some semblance of a rock and roll organization. And back in those days, Facebook specifically was really the Wild West for like booking gigs. You know, like before that, it would have been you call up a venue or you go in person and you try to get tickets. Maybe you do like a little pre-sale. But at this time, it was like really casual, and it was a little bit like online dating. You'd show up and you'd go, "You looked a lot better on person," and they'd go, "You looked a lot more successful online." And you'd go, "Well, okay," and then you'd play to the 5 people that were at the Artful Dodger that night in Harrisonburg, Virginia. But it was thrilling because you knew you were missing things back home, but that was like the point. It was like you wanted to be out on the road. We've had some great friends who have come way too far with us just to be part of the rock and roll good times experience. And we just thought, there's stuff at home, who cares? There'll be stuff at home next week, but we want to go out and play rock and roll. And so when Broke Royal started, that was the first group that really had a shared ethos of like, we're in it. Let's do this. Let's take this as far as we can.
All the miles I've done, I've left behind. And those left to come keep me alive. There's some good I've found from living blind, or how I learned to love the line. I missed a few good nights with a few good friends. I let some right ones out and some wrong ones in. I let a few good flames die in the wind, and I'm learning to begin. I'll come around when it's over. We'll pick it up and take it all from here. I'll come around when it's over. We'll pick it up and take it all from here. I spent way too long selling myself short. Took it all too far, took it all to heart. Spent way too long thinking this could work. Learned that some good love ends in reverse. I missed a few good nights with a few good friends. I let some right ones die and some wrong ones in. I let a few good flames die in the wind, and I'm learning to begin. I'll come around when it's over. We'll pick it up, take it all from here. Come around when it's over. Take it all.
Thank you very much. Now, around this same time at William & Mary, I was headed to the library one night to pretend like I was going to study. And I saw a group of friends at a table, and I went up to talk to them. And we were chatting, and I was hamming it up, having a good time. And this girl on the other end of the table was making eyes at me, and I was like, oh, okay, there's some sparks flying. And I'll never forget what she said. She said, "Could you please stop talking? We're trying to study." Beautiful. And time went on, as it does. we actually started dating other people, going on double dates on opposite sides of the table, if you will. A little more time went on. Those relationships ended. We ended up in the same group house. 3/5 of that group house is here tonight. And sparks started flying, you know? We started getting a little bit more serious, and I said, listen, I like you, but you should know I'm in a rock and roll band. I've got no time for love. And she said, sure. And then she joined the band. And that is the story of how I met my wife, Rebecca, who's in the back there. And there are many, many things that I love about Rebecca, but one of the things that I think was that I didn't see at first was that she was in on the daydream, and she was excited about my dreams, and in fact decided she wanted to be wholly a part of them, for which I'm forever grateful.
You found me at the wrong time. I've got so much on my mind. I'm just now hitting my stride, just now moving with the tide. So much, but it's never enough. I've got no time for love. Can't give my heart to the push and the shove. My defense is up. My defense is up. So much, but it's never enough. Kiss my neck, fall apart again. Light me up, now we start again. Kiss my neck, fall apart again. Light me up, now we start again. Where were you when I was stuck in the basement, looking for my own replacement? Where were you when I was all distractions, so bored it was all abstractions? It's not you thought I was getting control. It's not you thought I was getting a hold of things. Thought I was getting the swing. My defense is up. My defense is up. So much, but it's never enough. Kiss my neck, fall apart again. Light me up, now we start again. Kiss my neck, fall apart again. Light me up, now we start again. Kiss my neck, fall apart again. Light me up, now we start again.
Phil, how do you pick the songs you do solo from the ones you do with the band?
You act like I have any control over what happens in the band. No, we choose together. We've been playing for 10 years, and we've gone through some sort of like eras and things, and we want to put together a 10-year anniversary, full rock show, but it's odd because not everything fits together. So, for example, that song that I played that was like, it's really great with a sort of a country western twang, and I really want to put like a shuffle drum. And that's because it will fit next to the sort of more, we do indie rock that veers into alt country at times. So what I'm saying is, you want to play the new stuff, obviously, especially when it's juicy, the good ones. And then you kind of want to find old songs that fit next to that nicely. And then you got to get 5 people on board with that, or at least 3 maybe, or a vocal too. and that sometimes we'll do. And yeah, so that's how. But we're slow. We're like, stand-up like an old school stand-up comedian who will do like 10% new material if you see them live, right? We're not there to be like, we're rarely like, throw it out, we're starting over. But you asked about playing solo, and here I can play whatever I want, so I'll play whatever I want.
Yeah, but you certainly probably discard some of the band songs.
Yeah, I do, and I had a few in mind for tonight that I thought, oh, that'll really bring the freaking house down. And story-wise, it just didn't work. And so now I'm trying to service a larger narrative, and this has been a thrill. And I really thank you, Don and Alex and Lost Origins. This is a real treat for me. I only have a few songs left, so good a time as any to thank. But this idea of like a one-man show has been something I've been thinking about for a long time. And when the rubber hit the road, Rebecca was actually a stand-up comedian for many years, and she saw the first draft of this and took a hatchet to it in a very kind way, just understanding what structure is and how things could flow together. And so then I thought, oh, well, you know what? So, for example, this next song, thank you, Don, for teaming up so nicely. This next song kind of brought back a point about religion and what Chris said earlier. And I showed Colin, our drummer and the other founding member of Broke Royals, I showed him a batch of songs when we first started, and it was like, oh, I've got mixed emotions about the devotions. And he was like, okay. And then he was like, yeah, go write some more songs and come back. So I wrote some more songs, and I came back, and I think what he could hear in those songs was that I wasn't doing like I wasn't trying to be like a cool soul singer, because I knew that would read as cool. But I started to be more authentically myself in the next batch, sort of to my own horror. That it really, what it sounds like is Christian music to some degree, like the emotions in it and sort of the guitar playing sometimes. It really had like this Christian rock feel, which is something we've been batting off for a long time. But to Colin's credit, it was the stuff where I was being open and honest. And it would have been cool to be a cooler type of band, maybe. But at the end of the day, you're there to be honest and tell a good story and not be somebody else's version of authentic, right? So that was a big lesson, and he was really streets ahead, as he would enjoy, in seeing the forest through the trees on that. So this is one of those songs. You think you're gone, but you're not so low, yeah, you're not so far away. I've been the one when your money's spent and your head's under the waves. And here I am again, a hotel bed in Colorado. I'm just waiting for your call, but it's not gonna come at all. Higher and higher, oh, I'll take you higher, oh my love. Higher and higher, oh, I'll take you higher, oh my love. You're a wanted man, but I wanted you to know my name. Don't push me away, girl, I'm not here to save you, and you don't need to explain. Here I am again, a hotel bed in Colorado. I'm just waiting for your call, but it's not gonna come at all. Higher and higher, oh, I'll take you higher, oh my love. Higher and higher, So, without knowing they were going to be here tonight, I did want to thank and talk about the folks at Songbird, a local music house. So give it up for Songbird and Birdland Records. Now, they're special for a few reasons. They put out our third LP, Local Support, on vinyl in 2022 on their record label, Birdland Records, which is super cool. But also, this next song is sort of spawned from a memory in the old Songbird, which is right near here, pretty close to this neighborhood, where I would go a lot. And we happened to, as a band, we were picking up a little steam, and we were lucky enough to play local support gigs, which is when a touring band comes through and they don't have an opener, and a local band will kick things off. And again, Rebecca wasn't always in the band, so on this particular night, we were opening, and she was in the crowd dancing with a few of our friends, and I thought, God, I'm so lucky that she doesn't see, or maybe she does see through my bullshit, but she's still game anyways. And so, the longer you're in a band, the more the conversation turns to, why aren't we blowing up? Why aren't we Noah Kahan? Where's my stick season, man? That casts a shadow over so much what you do and so much of the conversation that you have with each other that it stops being about rock and roll, good times, party people, and it starts being more about how do we advertise on Spotify and other bleak conversations like that.
Are we in a rut?
Are we in a rut or what, babe? It's tough, and I, for a while, it was hard to just appreciate, it was hard to even appreciate the awesome gigs that we were playing, and how a few years earlier, if you told me that's what I was doing, I would have been so friggin' stoked. That would have blown my mind, but you kind of acclimate to everything. So I got two more songs, and this next one is about, when the friendship becomes more about the business or more about what's not happening than what is happening. I met your new friend at the party for Sid. He said, I've gotta live before we have this kid. I guess you're done living, 'cause he left you alone. The love that you're giving is more deep than he'll know. And I would be there for you, I'd be there for you. I would be there for you, I'd be there for you. You told me you loved me when you heard me sing. And don't pay for a ring. We put off a family, we put off your dreams. But you got a second chance now. Don't hold it against me, the life we were living. I'm living alone. We swore we'd stay broke and stay hungry, but you had to go. And I would be there for you, I'd be there for you. I would be there for you, I'd be there for you.
playing local support. Your hands in the air as you dance through the floor. I'm in the band playing local support. Your hands in the air as you dance through the floor.
So, Alex, did I choose music or did it choose me? You know?
I guess,
Which way, Western man?
was there a, you know, I think most of us have a moment in our lives when we can think that was the moment at which I couldn't turn back, right?
Yeah.
Like that was when I decided I was going to be the blank. Don, you had it. You were like, that was the day I decided I was going to be
Deep. You're in too deep.
You're in too deep.
I'm
You
already
can't
in
turn
too
back
deep. I
now.
can't turn back now. I can't. I'm going to be the best goddamn audio engineer there ever was. And then that's where you
Well,
found
no,
yourself.
I didn't exactly say that, but you know.
I'm going to be an audio engineer, you know. That's all that matters. And so for you, you know, I mean, for me, like, I remember hearing radio DJs for the first time, and I was like, holy shit, I want to do that. That sounds awesome. Those guys have no responsibilities, and they get to do whatever they want. That sounds amazing. But for you, was there a moment that you were like, wow, music's got me? And I joke around, but I've heard people use the exact term, that's the day they sold their soul to rock and roll. When was the day you sold your soul to rock and roll?
I mean, I think that's what this whole thing's been about, unpacking, and I can't quite pick up an exact date and time, but 10 years in felt like a pretty good time to ask, what have I been doing here for 10 years? If I hadn't before, which there's a lot of evidence pointing to that. No, but I've been very lucky, and I just have one last song. I think when I fingerpick, it's a little quiet, right? Should I just strum it?
It's whatever you choose.
I can hear it, but I have
Whatever you
headphones
choose.
on. Yeah,
Okay.
do it.
It's going to be pretty similar. Would it be
Yeah.
nicer for the folks in the back if I strummed it? Finger picking. We'll finger pick it. Very nice. Okay, very good.
I'm going to let you close this out. I just want to, one more time, I want to thank Lost Origins, Jason Hamacher, Don Zantara, the legendary Don Zantara.
Alex Vidalis, too.
Inner ear, baby.
Thank you so much.
Many-
Inner ear.
You're the engineer, man.
I am. This is all clicks and whirs. I have no idea if this is even streaming. No, I want to remind everyone, Mixcloud.com, if you just put StageCraft into your Google or whatever you use to search the internet, Google Don and Alex StageCraft will come up. This will be up for listening pleasure in the next day or so. And please just continue to listen to StageCraft. We have lots of great episodes with lots of, I was looking, we have lots of Whammy Award nominees in our
Yes, we
in our
do.
midst. Yeah, I think it's the StageCraft Bump.
That's what happens being around for 8-9 years.
StageCraft Bump, baby. It's the StageCraft Bump. StageCraft Bump to you, Philip Basnight.
We need it. Always a bridesmaid, never a bride. Always the nominee, never the trophy holder. That's the Broke Royals promise. Thrice nominated.
We've got a trophy for you in the back.
Hey, there we go. Thank you. I get a Lifetime Achievement Award. Yes, thank you to all those folks. And also, thank you to the band, Rebecca, who's here tonight. Ben, Tamir, and Colin are not, but sincere thank you to them for making my daydreams come true and never making me play alone. I really appreciate it.
Here's your trophy.
Thanks, Coach. Better than an Oscar. Don't give a damn about a Rolling Stone. God knows I've gathered moss. I just needed time alone when you pulled me off the cross. I can't do it again. I just can't do it. I got nothing left to spend. We've all been through it. You revive me. You bring me back. You revive me, my heart attack. I gave it all I have to give, and no one cared at all. I found another life to live, and then I get your calling my name. My heart beats fast, everything changed. Before and after, nothing's the same. I hear your laughter, oh, oh, oh. You're bringing me back, back, back. Coming back for you.
revive me. You bring me back. You revive me, my heart attack. Thanks so much. Thank you guys for being such a great audience.
Thank you. Oh, that's nice. Thank you. Thanks for listening.